Hi, I'm Deborah Vinsel. I'm the CEO at Thurston Community Media. Or, hi, I'm Deb, Lex's wife. Or, hi, I'm Deb. I have a new puppy. I would say the performing arts probably, fill my heart, and I count, kind of being in front of the camera every once in a while as part of that, because I was a dancer and I did play several musical instruments growing up, and was involved in community theater, and so being on a stage, being behind a microphone, being in a costume, those are the kinds of things that really fill me up. But I'm also very appreciative of the art that people can create with their hands, or with a camera. I am in awe of people who can write poetry and perform poetry that moves people, like Maya Angelou, and people who can write music, and I think creativity is inherent in all of us. And I think about my father, who, if you asked my father if he was an artist, he would say no. But my father was Mr. Movie. He had the 8mm movie camera, and it took me a long time to recognize, and in fact I didn't recognize it until after his death, that perhaps that's where I got my interest in what we do with cameras here, because Dad always had his movie camera for every birthday party, and the warehouse down the street's on fire, Dad took the camera and shot footage of it, 8mm footage. Every vacation is captured in these little 3-minute 8mm reels, and there's miles of it in a closet in my mom's house. When I started college, I was studying landscape architecture, and I was 4.5 years into a 5-year program and was miserable. So I changed my major as a senior. I changed colleges. I transferred 140 units from The Ohio State University to Ohio University. I sat my dad down and said, "Look, I'm really sorry. I've spent 4.5 years doing something I'm not going to finish." And he looked at me and he said, "You're in school to be successful, and you won't be successful unless you're happy." So with my father's blessing, I charged off to OU in Athens, Ohio, and started studying broadcast, and really thought that my path was going to take me to network television. I really wanted to be in front of the camera. Jane Pauley and I from NBC are the same age. She was hosting the Today Show at age 24, and I kind of figured I could do the same thing. So obviously that did not pan out. But I often tell young people that you never know what's going to happen in 10 years. Because at age 21, I was engaged to a man studying landscape architecture living in Ohio. And at age 31, I was married to a different man living in California running a community television station. So a lot of things can happen in 10 years, and life does happen in unexpected ways. I started my career as communications director for a hotel in Cincinnati, where I shot training videos and helped do internal communications. And then I stumbled into community television, and literally stumbled into it because I came home from work one night, tripped over the newspaper, and the ad for trainer producer for Waycross Community Television was in that newspaper.
And we are very pleased in our community, in our station, to have Deb Vinsel to be our executive director.
One of the wonderful things about working in Access, as long as I've worked, is I keep seeing an influx of young faces with young ideas, fresh ideas, and enthusiasm for this wonderful medium.
I was incredibly fortunate when I started my career in community television that I had several mentors, some of whom I still consider mentors, 40 years later. When I moved here in 1990, the Washington Center for the Performing Arts was one of the first places I had a tour of. And like I said, having been in performance, having been a dancer and a performer and a musician, walking out onto the stage back then and looking out into that audience, I was in awe that a community the size of Olympia had a facility like that. I was honored to serve on the the board of directors for the Washington Center for the Performing Arts for 8 years. Being able to help guide the growth of that organization was an honor. The arts make a community. The performing arts, the visual arts, the media arts make a healthy community. Nonprofit organizations are a part in so many ways of a safety net in our community. So many nonprofits who do the really hard work of keeping people safe and educating students and dealing with health issues, or protecting our environment or cleaning our water, empowering people to tell their stories. They're a really important part of the fabric of a community. When you empower people to speak for themselves, you change a community. It's been a privilege to be, and an honor, to be able to help our community tell its story using media. And I've been a little tiny part of that, because it's not something that, it's not something I did. It's something that the community did when this organization was founded, and the community did it. And it's been an honor to have been a part of it.
And what's in the future for Deb?
Oh, like I said, I got a new puppy. Gardening, travel, time with my husband, time with my family, visiting my mom, all the things a lot of retired people do. We'll just see. We'll have to see. I don't have real firm plans. I'm trying really hard not to put a really firm plan together, and just kind of see where things go.